So there's some news that came out last week about Spider-Man Brand New Day. And shout out to Cosmic Wonder. I really enjoy his content a lot with the reports he has about Marvel. And I'm looking forward to Spider-Man Brand New Day. I love No Way Home. It was a great film in my opinion. One of the best since Endgame. Probably the best in my opinion. And I like the things I'm hearing about Spider-Man 4. Let's see what Cosmic Wonder had to say. Make sure you guys also go support his channel, like his videos, subscribe, etc. But let's see what he had to say about Spider-Man.
But for Spider-Man Brand New Day, we have more info about the Hulk. We keep getting more and more reports about the Hulk appearing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It really does seem like this is Marvel's plan. And they might have a pretty good twist on the Hulk remembering Peter Parker. He could possibly be the only person to remember Peter out of everybody. And it sounds like this story could be set up very well. So we have some new information coming from the Hot Mic podcast with John Roca and Jeff Snyder. In their latest episode, they talked about how on January of this year, they talked about World War Hulk and that John Roca revealed that the Hulk might be appearing in Spider-Man 4. He also heard that the Punisher would also appear in Spider-Man 4.
I like that idea because you just saw Daredevil Born Again. Obviously, Spider-Man's in New York City. So you definitely want to mention how he's been impacted from Wilson Fix, the Kingpin, taking over with his gang running New York City. I am hoping that ties in. I'm assuming it will. But having the Punisher involved with Spider-Man would be a cool interaction, especially we haven't seen this Punisher in a movie yet. I think that'd be interesting to watch. I don't know if they won't make it rated R, but to see him paired up with him in a movie like this makes sense, especially with the events of Daredevil. It doesn't make sense to completely shun that story and act like it has no impact on Spider-Man. So I like the idea of having Punisher for Spider-Man 4. Really cool stuff there.
And according to his source, the original plan for Spider-Man Brand New Day, or Spider-Man 4 at the time, was to have Spider-Man fighting the Hulk with the Punisher. And it was originally intended to be a ground-based movie, a street-level Spider-Man movie. Now, it's very clear that Marvel Studios definitely has plans for the Punisher. At the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 1, he played a pretty big role. We also got a confirmation from Marvel that they are indeed making a Punisher special presentation, which will come out next year, right before Daredevil Born Again Season 2, in which the Punisher is set to return. Looks like he's also set to return in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And this is kind of finally starting to make sense because after Daredevil Born Again Season 1, a lot of fans were asking and stating that since all of this is happening in New York, where Peter Parker / Spider-Man is, this has to affect him and his story. Well,
they did mention in the Daredevil Born Again show about another vigilante, which is Spider-Man. And this is a great move for Marvel and Disney to have the Punisher in this series. And if you're going to fight the Hulk, I think what they need to do, in my opinion, is obviously not make Hulk look weak around them. They're going to have to use their brains because obviously they can't beat Hulk by fist. I think that's going to be interesting to see how many interactions the Punisher and Spider-Man have with the Hulk because we know that Bruce Banner's not going to remember who he is. The Hulk will remember because that's a separate brain. That would be cool to watch, especially if they have a scene where they're trying to slow down the Hulk. He is this raging, upset monster, which we need to see again because we've seen Smart Hulk, and I'm sure people are tired of it. It made sense for Endgame, especially when Bruce Banner and the Hulk had to figure out how to work together. That made sense. But transition back to Angry Hulk, Mean Hulk, Nasty Hulk, especially we just had Captain America and you had the Red Hulk who was just destroying everything and out of control. It wouldn't make sense to bring back Smart Hulk when you have a Red Hulk who isn't able to use his human brain and have the Hulk at the same time. That would make no sense. So it's smart on Marvel and Disney to do this. Now, again, Spider-Man's been great. I have no complaints. I hope we get a street level Spider-Man. It looks like we are based on these reports here. I didn't really mind Homecoming. I thought it was good, because you're trying to do something different. I understand some of the complaints as well. Spider-Man's fighting with the Avengers and he doesn't have his own standalone movie. And this should be the perfect opportunity to introduce it and to look at the effects of how Kingpin has really impacted Spider-Man's life. And that'd be really cool to watch. But I do like the idea of bringing in Hulk. As long as they don't make him look weak or losing a fist fight to Spider-Man and Punisher, that would be unrealistic. It's going to have to be a situation where Spider-Man and the Punisher have to come up with a strategy to convince Hulk. And maybe it would be Peter Parker saying, you know what? I need to show him who I am. And he'll probably remember me. I don't know. That probably won't make a lot of sense. Maybe it will. I'm not sure, but who knows? I do believe you can't have the Hulk losing a fist fight. That would be dumb and wouldn't make any sense.
Adding the Punisher in the movie makes it connect to Daredevil Born Again, and it could give us some perspective about how that situation with Mayor Fisk affected other superheroes or masked vigilantes. It's the MCU, everything's connected, so we like to see those connections addressed. Now, according to John Roca, one of the main reasons that Marvel does want to throw the Hulk in Spider-Man 4, at least originally, like they were stating back in January, is that Marvel wants the Hulk to move away from their intelligent Hulk or Professor Hulk. They want to show him as a brutish,
Makes sense.
violent, and rage Hulk, is what John Roca says. In which, yeah, that's what everybody wants at this point in time. He stated, many people have complained about Intelligent Hulk and want the massive, angry, fighting version back, and so Marvel.
Yeah, when you saw him in She-Hulk and you're like, why is this guy not angry? I can understand why the fans were upset, and that show was a travesty. And the whole movement of the MCU and women power, and it was dumb to have him put to the sideline. Like, why are we doing this? So makes sense to make up for what happened. And again, if you're gonna have a Red Hulk who's always angry, have a Green Hulk who is smashing things, you got to get back to the character and how he got developed. Hulk goes out there and destroys stuff, and he doesn't care what's in his way. So I like that idea, and you should go down that direction. Would make sense. Having Smart Hulk would be a bad move, and you're like, what is he doing here? Why is he existing? Like he's walking around like acting like he's angry. Like in Endgame, he's like, oh, smash things, yay! But it's like that's not the Hulk we know. So yeah, it wouldn't make any sense if they did that.
And so Marvel desperately wants to bring that back. His words. And he refers back to Tom Holland, what he said in the interview in the Rich Roll podcast, where he said that when he read the script for Spider-Man 4, he was excited and jumping around his hotel room. Now, since then, we know that the script has definitely been changed. However, according to Roca, he concluded by stating that it seems clear that the core idea regarding Hulk and Punisher in Brand New Day is still the same. And if that's the case, that's great. We can get that grounded street level Spider-Man movie. However, I still believe that by the end of the film, since this film now goes directly into Avengers Doomsday, the multiverse will start to get more involved. We can have a street level movie for 90% of the movie, and then that last 10% can take us.
As long as they keep it street level for the majority of the film, and they don't go like 60% where Tom Holland is grieving about people forgetting about him and he has to move on from the friends who don't remember him. If they don't give that time to settle and develop for this movie and they rush it and they get to a point where they have Doctor Doom or Fantastic Four, whoever it may be, work with him on beating the Hulk, that would be a bad idea. Save it for the end where they go through a struggle, him and Punisher, dealing with the Hulk, dealing with the after effects of Kingpin having control over the city. Like, have those things in this movie where maybe Spider-Man has to watch himself with Kingpin's enemies. And I think that's a good idea to bring interest. And again, I liked Daredevil Born Again. I thought it was a good show. I just think it suffers because of the things Disney Marvel has done. But focus on Peter Parker in the streets. Make him a street level superhero. Don't bring the Avengers in too soon, because if you do that, it's like, okay, here we go again. Peter Parker's not getting his chance to develop his character and be that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right into Doomsday. They could bring the other two Spider-Men back, Tobey and Andrew. Plus, not to mention, we've heard that Sadie Sink is playing Mayday Parker, and she should be coming from another universe. In fact, Roca himself said that she would come from Tobey Maguire's universe, and she would actually be the daughter of Tobey Spider-Man. So there will definitely...
One important thing about Mayday Parker is make sure there's good character development. Don't just have her put on the suit and say, hey, I am Spider-Woman, accept me as a superhero. That's not a good move. Like, show a struggle where, maybe she was working alongside her father and she failed at a mission, or show her, in a scene where Toby is going on a mission and she has to be home with her mom and she's struggling with something else in her life. Like, just get us to care about the character. Don't just have her put in the mask and say, here I am, here to save the day, and don't take away the spotlight from Tom Holland. Otherwise, this film will be turning fans away. Spider-Man's been great, so leave the feminist stuff and the woman saving the day out of it. Remember, Marvel is a boy brand. Spider-Man is one of your most important characters. Don't mess it up.
be multiversal aspects to it. Now, as far as the Hulk remembering Peter Parker is concerned, I'm literally talking about the Hulk, not Bruce Banner, but the Hulk. Many fans are pointing out that there was a story in the comics where everybody forgot who Peter was, but Hulk did not. And he even said Banner forgot, Hulk didn't. They might go that same route in the MCU. And yes, Bruce Banner slash the Hulk do know who Spider-Man is because Peter Parker was there at the end for Tony's funeral. And I know a lot of people have been stating, well, Smart Hulk knew who Peter Parker was and he probably doesn't anymore. And that's most likely due to the fact that it's Banner's mind that is in control. Banner's mind gets wiped, the Hulk's doesn't. And that might actually be how they defeat the Hulk in the end. Like Spider-Man and the Punisher going up against the Hulk, while being massively entertaining, and yeah, there are ways that they could win, they probably won't, at least I hope they won't go that route in the MCU, because if we do get the angry Hulk back, hopefully he just gets angrier and angrier and essentially is unstoppable, up to the point that he might actually be going for the kill against Spider-Man. And during just fighting him, Peter Parker's mask gets taken off and the Hulk sees that it's Peter, which makes him stop. That could be, of course, not confirmed, just a theory at this point, but that could be the direction that Marvel is going. But let me know your thoughts about that in the comments down below. Now, as far as Daredevil and Kingpin are concerned, I know a lot of people really wanted Daredevil and Kingpin in Spider-Man 4, but Vincent D'Onofrio recently revealed that his character can only appear in TV shows. At least he said that's what he believed.
It would be cool to see if they can get Kingpin involved, but I understand there's rights. But it'd be really cool if they can get Kingpin involved, but I understand there's a process to that happening. However, just at least have some type of presence of Kingpin where maybe Peter Parker is trying to overcome the enemies he has in the city and the control that Kingpin has. And when it comes to Punisher, that'd be a really cool interaction. And also, you have a chance to show off Peter Parker's brain because he's a scientist. We obviously know that Punisher and Spider-Man can't beat the Hulk in a fist fight, but at least show that side of him, and obviously he'll be Spider-Man. And I think it'd be really cool. Maybe the Punisher and Spider-Man have a clash where they don't agree and they have a little fight, and then they come to an agreement that we need to work together. That would be interesting. And then when it comes to Mayday Parker, don't have a situation where she's taken over the group and taken full control, and Tom Holland is the side character to save the day. Don't go down that direction. Spider-Man's been great without the woke stuff, and it's been fine to me. Keep it that way. And maybe have the Avengers for the end credit scene. Don't even show them throughout the movie. And you can save that for Tom Holland at the end after the movie's over. That would probably be a better idea, in my opinion. We shall see. I'd love to hear your thoughts about these ideas with Spider-Man 4. Are you excited for the film? Are you looking forward to it? Love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, share the video as well, and I'll see you in the next one.